What happens when the most prosperous country in the world starts seeing cracks in its financial foundation, from soaring debt to collapsing infrastructures? Some U.S. states are struggling to keep their budgets afloat, and 2025 might be the year the dam finally breaks. Today, we'll uncover the shocking stories of 10 U.S. states facing financial ruin. Stay until the end to find out which states are teetering on the edge and why their troubles might impact the entire nation. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel Exploring Our Planet, and let us know in the comments which state you think will struggle the most in 2025. Now, let's explore. Number 1. Hawaii. Hawaii, often regarded as paradise on Earth, is battling financial storms beneath its postcard-perfect exterior. Known for its breathtaking beaches and lush landscapes, Hawaii's geographical isolation has made it one of the most expensive states to live in. In 2024, USA Today reported that the average household spent nearly $4,000 monthly on basic expenses, far above the national average. The state's reliance on tourism adds to its financial vulnerability. Natural disasters, global pandemics, and geopolitical tensions have shown how volatile this revenue source can be. With a taxpayer burden of $16.509 billion financial hole, Hawaii faces mounting pressure to diversify its economy and address its cost of living crisis. Will Hawaii's unparalleled beauty and resilient community help it navigate these challenges, or will 2025 be the year the Aloha State's economy hits a breaking point? Number 2. Delaware. Delaware, often hailed as the corporate capital of the U.S., is facing a financial reckoning. Known for its business-friendly laws and charming coastal towns, the state's economic foundation is showing cracks. As of 2024, Delaware residents carry a taxpayer burden of $15.400, and the state faces a $6.2 billion financial shortfall. The root of the problem lies in Delaware's reliance on federal funds during the pandemic. While these funds temporarily boosted the state's budget, the federal money is now gone, leaving Delaware to cover ongoing programs with insufficient revenue. Experts warn that without drastic spending cuts or increased taxation, the state's financial health will continue to deteriorate. Can Delaware balance its reputation as a tax haven with the need for fiscal responsibility? 2025 could be the year the first state faces its toughest challenges yet. Number 3. Louisiana. The vibrant culture of Louisiana, with its jazz, gumbo, and Mardi Gras celebrations, masks significant economic distress. The state has faced a series of financial disasters, from Hurricane Katrina's lingering effects to a struggling energy sector. In 2024, CNBC reported that Louisiana's taxpayer burden had ballooned to $13.400 per resident, reflecting its deep financial struggles. Despite a cost of living 9% below the national average, many residents find themselves grappling with everyday expenses. Louisiana ranks among the top 10 poorest and hungriest states, highlighting the disconnect between affordability and quality of life. With a shrinking tax base and an over-reliance on federal aid, Louisiana's fiscal challenges paint a bleak picture for 2025. If Louisiana fails to address its systemic issues, its cultural and natural treasures could be overshadowed by mounting debts. Will 2025 bring much-needed reforms, or will the Bayou State sink further into financial quicksand? Number 4. Kentucky. Kentucky, known for its rolling hills, bourbon, and the iconic Kentucky Derby, the bluegrass state is synonymous with Southern charm. Yet, behind the scenes, Kentucky's finances are unraveling. With a taxpayer burden of $13.200 per resident, the state is struggling to cover its obligations, from education to healthcare. According to a 2024 report by DataZ, Kentucky's financial health is precarious. The state's $23 billion in assets is dwarfed by $42.5 billion in liabilities, leaving a staggering $19.5 billion deficit. The situation is further exacerbated by an aging population and insufficient funding for essential services. Despite its lower cost of living, systemic issues like underfunded pensions and limited revenue sources deepen Kentucky's economic sinkhole. As the clock ticks toward 2025, Kentucky must address these challenges head-on. Will the state's rich cultural heritage and natural beauty be enough to attract new industries and residents, or will its financial woes overshadow its historic charm? Number 5. Vermont. Nestled in the picturesque embrace of the Green Mountains, Vermont's serene landscapes and vibrant fall foliage hide a troubling financial reality. Often celebrated for its rural charm and artisanal delights, Vermont faces mounting fiscal challenges that could threaten its idyllic image. The state is grappling with budget deficits driven by a crumbling healthcare system and dwindling revenue streams, making 2025 a critical year for its survival. In May 2024, former Governor Howard Dean raised alarm bells, outlining the state's dire economic condition. Hospitals are nearing bankruptcy, with an analysis suggesting Vermont needs up to $3 billion in subsidies over the next 5 years just to keep healthcare operational. Adding to this burden, Vermont residents face a taxpayer burden of $10.900 each, an amount that highlights just how deep the state's financial struggles run. As Vermont fights to stabilize its economy, residents are left with tough choices. With a shrinking population and limited industrial growth, the state's future hinges on innovative reforms. Will Vermont's natural beauty and resilient spirit be enough to weather this storm, or will 2025 mark a turning point for its decline? Number 6. California. California, the land of golden beaches, endless sunshine, and the glitz of Hollywood, has long been a symbol of prosperity and ambition. But beneath the shimmering facade lies a harsh economic reality. The Golden State is grappling with a massive financial crisis, with a taxpayer burden of over $22,000 per person. California's staggering debt stems from a combination of issues: soaring housing costs, an underfunded pension system, and a homelessness epidemic that continues to spiral out of control. One major contributor is the housing crisis, with cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles leading the nation in unaffordable housing. For the average Californian, the dream of homeownership feels more out of reach than ever. Meanwhile, the state's ambitious social programs and environmental initiatives often run into funding gaps, exacerbating the fiscal strain. California's reliance on the tech industry for economic stability has also proven volatile. While tech booms bring in revenue, downturns, like layoffs in 2023, lead to sharp declines in state income. Add to this the ongoing challenge of wildfire management, which costs billions annually, and it's clear why California's finances are stretched thin. Without significant reforms, the Golden State's fiscal future remains precarious. Number 7. Massachusetts. Massachusetts, a state known for its storied history and academic prestige, is not immune to financial difficulties. Despite being home to elite universities like Harvard and MIT, the Bay State is struggling with a mounting taxpayer burden of $27,000 per resident. The state's fiscal woes are driven by soaring healthcare costs, unfunded pension liabilities, and an aging infrastructure that demands urgent repairs. One of the primary issues is the cost of public services. Massachusetts prides itself on its robust healthcare system, but the expenses to maintain it continue to climb. Similarly, public education funding, while a priority, is placing additional strain on the budget. The state's reliance on federal grants during the pandemic has also left gaps that must now be filled by taxpayers. Massachusetts' aging infrastructure, from bridges to transit systems, only adds to its challenges. While the state continues to attract talent and innovation, the financial pressures are mounting. Without decisive action, this New England gem risks tarnishing its reputation as a hub of opportunity. Number 8. Illinois. Illinois, the land of Lincoln, finds itself at the crossroads of history and financial despair. With Chicago's iconic skyline and a rich industrial legacy, Illinois should symbolize economic strength, yet it faces one of the highest taxpayer burdens in the nation: $52,000 per resident. This fiscal strain stems largely from decades of mismanaged pensions, mounting debt, and declining population. The state's pension crisis is particularly alarming. Illinois owes billions in unfunded pension liabilities, a burden that continues to grow each year. These pensions divert critical funds away from infrastructure projects and public services, leaving schools and healthcare facilities underfunded. Illinois also faces a shrinking tax base as residents leave in search of better opportunities. This outmigration exacerbates the fiscal imbalance, as fewer taxpayers are left to shoulder the state's growing financial obligations. Without sweeping reforms, Illinois risks sinking further into a fiscal quagmire. Number 9. New Jersey. New Jersey, famous for its shorelines, bustling cities, and historic landmarks, is battling a financial crisis of its own. With a taxpayer burden of $58,000 per resident, the Garden State is among the most indebted in the nation. Rising pension costs, escalating healthcare expenses, and high taxes are pushing the state's finances to the brink. The pension system, a long-standing issue, consumes a significant portion of the state budget. Years of underfunding have left New Jersey with an ever-widening fiscal gap. Meanwhile, high property taxes, highest in the nation, are driving residents and businesses out of the state, further straining its economy. Adding to the woes is the state's over-reliance on borrowing. While loans have helped fund critical projects, they've also led to unsustainable debt levels, unless drastic measures are taken. New Jersey's financial future looks increasingly uncertain. Number 10. New York. New York, the Empire State, stands as a global symbol of ambition and opportunity. Yet, behind the bustling streets of Manhattan and the serene landscapes of the Adirondacks lies a state facing monumental financial challenges. With a taxpayer burden of nearly $82,000 per resident, New York tops the list of states on the brink of fiscal collapse. The state's financial woes are driven by sky-high living costs, an overburdened public transportation system, and growing social program expenses. New York City, the economic heart of the state, struggles with aging infrastructure, from crumbling subway systems to outdated bridges and tunnels. Repairing these vital assets requires billions in funding. Meanwhile, the state's expansive welfare programs and public employee pensions further strain the budget. The pandemic also left a significant dent in New York's economy, with businesses shuttered and tourism revenue plummeting. While New York's resilience is legendary, its current fiscal trajectory demands immediate attention to avoid a full-blown crisis. As we've explored, the financial futures of these 10 U.S. states hang in the balance. From mounting debts to systemic challenges, their struggles are a stark reminder of the delicate balance between ambition and sustainability. These issues affect not just the states, but the lives of millions who call them home. If you found this deep dive insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Exploring Our Planet. Let us know in the comments which state's challenges surprised you the most. Stay tuned for our next episode as we continue uncovering the stories shaping our world. Together, let's explore the Planetone story at a time.